Hey, welcome to another episode of Auburn All the Time. I'm sitting here with Mr. Auburn football himself, Brother Bruce Howard, and I'm your boy, Rod Stevens. And hey, welcome to another episode of Auburn All the Time. Man, we got week 4 coming up here. Auburn versus Arkansas. This show, man, we'll look back on, I guess, the two previous games since y'all ain't seen us since we previewed the California game and what a disaster that was. But we'll touch on that a hair and then we'll, move on as to some of the things that we saw against New Mexico. And I'll let my boy start out. Glad to have you today. One more shout out, y'all. We appreciate y'all for tuning in and just supporting us. We ask you to like, share, and comment. Hit the notification button so you'll know when we post a show. But with that being said, Bruce, the California game. I know you don't really want to talk. I don't like to reflect too, but it's some things need to be said and clarified, and how we feel about that.
Man, really, it's not even worth talking about. But I would say this: the main thing was that was a winnable game, a game we probably should have won. We got, more talent than them from top to bottom.
Mhm.
We made that quarterback in the first half of the game look like a Heisman contender
Well,
until
he
we
looked like Aaron Rodgers to
until
me.
we got out that once we got away from the 3-man front going into the third quarter. Well, they switched it up, went to a 4-man front right before halftime, and that was the difference.
Mhm.
If we would went to a 4-man front that whole game, I'm not sure they would have scored more than 7 or 10 points, truthfully. And the one, I would say 14 of their 21 points came off of just our turnovers. We basically gave that game away by sticking with Thorne the whole game,
Mhm.
and thank God we moved off of Thorne for now. And, as much as it pains me to say this, there is a good chance that we'll see Thorne again for this year's over with. I mean, I don't want to, but I just know the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
In this day and time, it's easy to forget about him, and I hope we don't see him again this year. But I just got a strange feeling that we'll get to see him at some capacity for the year's over with. But moving forward past that, I mean, last week against New Mexico, to me, for the offense, it worked out perfect. I mean, we was going against one of the worst defenses in the country. What better defense to go against for Hank Brown his first start?
Mhm.
And me and you, we actually watched the game together. We
Right.
sit there and we talked about it. It was several plays where he got down to a second, third, or maybe even fourth progression. We sit there and watched it. We talked about it. And that was something Thorne wasn't doing at all.
At all.
He was locking in on one guy, and no matter what, come hell or high water, he was going that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's just like, at least we got that part down pat that we know that the offense is made where it's more than one read. There's guys open. And the way I look at it, I was telling people all week, the main thing that Hank Brown did, he did his job. It wasn't nothing flashy. It wasn't nothing extreme. He did what he had to do.
Mhm.
And that gives me some hope because his lack of mobility concerns me somewhat. Because if you notice against New Mexico, when they got inside the red zone, and they basically keyed in on the running back every time.
Yeah.
And he got hit several. The running backs were getting hit several times in the backfield because of that. So what they did, they made adjustment on the fly. They rolled him out some, just like when he hit the tight end in the back of the end zone. It was a rollout play.
Yeah.
So that's something. Whenever you have a quarterback that's not very mobile, you have to adjust your play calling. So I think what happened with Brown, as long as he's the starter, I think the rushing yards will actually go down some, but will compensate the fact that our passing yards will go up. And his completion percentage is over 65%, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's played in 2 games this year, no turnovers. And you just take this the basic fundamentals of the game. He would have started against Cal, would be undefeated right now. I truly believe that. So, but I'll let you hit on what you saw from the defense, which me and you was both concerned because they played a base 3-man defense against New Mexico, which that was already probably predetermined anyway. So, what was your take on what you seen defensively?
Defensively, like you stated, I mean that 3-man front
I can't stand it.
is just, and I don't hark on tradition because things are meant to be changed, and
Right.
you can't dwell on what you used to do, and
Right.
and how you used to do things. But to me, it has not been effective.
No.
For 2 solid games. Basically, like you said, they changed
the 3-man front. It's a bend but don't break.
Yeah, that's
all it is.
That's what I was alluding to.
It prevents the big play from getting.
I was alluding to that. But with that bend don't break, I mean, you nickel and dime folks down the field, and that's not good either. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're getting 4 to 5 first downs a drive, that's killing your defense.
Well,
man.
not only that, the offense don't have a chance to get no rhythm. They're
Right.
not getting that many possessions, and on that 3-man front, 0 pressure, and you're dropping your 2 best pass rushers more likely in the coverage. That brings no good to the defense.
And like I was looking. We was watching the game. We stated we were watching the game. The New Mexico game. That's what I'm talking about. We was watching that game together, and the times that we did get some type of pressure, it wasn't enough. I mean, because you're only sending 3 guys or 3 men, and these are the guys that are on the heavier side of the physical ability. They're heavy. Okay, they're getting through, but they're not able to contain a quarterback like we played this week, and then the quarterback we played the previous week. So, I mean, even going into next week or this week coming up, you got a quarterback that's just as talented. Because to be honest with you, man, we played 2 teams with 2 talented quarterbacks, but we'll probably see one of the most talented quarterbacks this week that we've faced so far in an opponent.
So far.
And so defensively, I'll go to our cornerbacks. They still don't turn around and even look for the ball. It's stuff like that I've always questioned about Auburn, but I don't understand the philosophy on that. I mean, I just don't. Y'all feel free to chime in and teach me the philosophy of a cornerback. Maybe we need to have Zion Gibson back on the high school recruitment gas to see
help them right now.
He could tell us what's the philosophy of not getting your head around. At least, man, look at the receiver's eyes or something and just turn around, man. There's a lot of the broken up passes was look to me, if you ask me, or the ball wasn't thrown good enough. You know what I'm saying? So you able to get your hand up. Now I will give Thompson, Jared Thompson, credit. I mean, with that interception, and I actually listened to SEC. I think it's SEC this morning on Sirius XM. I'm not trying to highlight anybody, but he actually won the catch of the week by Chris Doran. Chris Doran does a catch of the week. Former Florida wide receiver back in the 90s. He's one of the hosts on the shows, and if you get a chance, man, they have some interesting stuff. But Thompson was the catch of the week, and it was actually a defensive catch. So, but anyway, moving forward, it's enough said. I won't even revisit the California game. I would talk more about the California game if Peyton Thorne played in the New Mexico game, because I would have some things to probably point out, and we probably could see some similarities in those games. But overall, I say that I was pleased with the offense. Far as it was very, very productive to me. And it was just like you said, it wasn't nothing flashy. It was just the fact that Hank Brown did what he was supposed to do. Granted, you're going against a low tier opponent, but you know what I'm saying, that's what you're supposed to do. I think we put up 45 points. So 4 touchdowns. He had a great outing. No interceptions, no turnovers. You mentioned it. The progressions that he made. I like the fact that he, used his check down, and that's something that, man, we haven't seen. Soon as Peyton Thorne gets rattled, I mean, it's probably a wrap. But this guy, man, he came in with a cool head, and I guess we'll see what happens Saturday. But moving forward, we got Arkansas coming in.
Yeah.
And we're at home.
Right.
I just to be honest with you, I have not even looked at the spread. I really don't even care. You can fill me in on that. I think it's 4.
Start
I
off
think
at
it's
5.5, and I think it's sitting at 3.5 right
Arkansas.
now. Auburn.
Oh, it's Auburn?
Yeah, Auburn's favored by 3.5.
Oh, okay. I thought
So basically,
I heard it was
Auburn's got the home field advantage. So basically, they get
field goal.
It's basically a pick. That's how Las Vegas looking. From what I understand, all the money's in on Arkansas.
Okay.
So
well, give me your I guess your preview.
I've seen Arkansas all 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
They're so similar to us in so many ways. Both teams should be undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
They've been tested a little farther than we have because they lost at Oklahoma State. We lost at home against Cal. Oklahoma State's a better team than Cal. And that game went in quadruple overtime. And I think Arkansas outgained them 2-1 and had 650 yards of offense for what it's worth.
Yeah.
But Oklahoma State's defense is awful. Everybody knows that. Cal's defense is pretty good. So with that being said, man, I'm worried about this game, to be honest with you. But because their quarterback, Taylor Green, he transferred from Boise State.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a great passer, but he's a threat with his legs, of course. But I think he's better throwing the ball on the run than standing in the pocket. So if you can make him stay in the pocket, you got a good chance. But the key to them is the transfers on the offensive line. One of them is the Carmona kid from San Jose State. Auburn wanted him out of he came from transfer portal. We got beat by Arkansas, which that should never happen.
Yeah, but
it happened. And they got several like Blackstock. They got several massive offensive linemen. They've improved on the offensive line, but the strength of our offense is Jackson, the transfer running back.
Yeah,
man, we got our hands full. I'm just gonna tell you,
we do.
We got our hands full. It's just the fact that you have to somehow, some way. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna cut the TV off if Auburn comes out in 3-man front against this team because you're wasting your time. I mean, I'm just gonna tell you, it has to be. You have to bring pressure. You just gotta live and die with the fact that our secondary is young and whatever. But if you sit there and go to a 3-man front, it's not even worth talking about. You're giving the game, which I'll be honest with you, I'll be shocked if he does that against them. I just don't. I mean, and to me, Durkin, has he really ever been a 3-man front guy?
I was just about to ask you that question.
I don't think so. Well, I know when we went against him when he was at Ole Miss and Texas A&M, we never seen a 3-man front. We played him. No, so it really don't make sense to me.
And well, that's a good question though. What is the reason behind?
I don't get it because we're not even equipped for a 3-man
right.
front. You gotta have a I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I would think you would have to have a dominant inside guy first of all, which we don't have. We're built for a 4-man front defense. Yeah. That's not we've had our best success on defense this year. 4-man front, and that's. To me, I ain't gonna talk about it because surely to God, if me and you can see it, and everybody that you talk to that knows anything about Auburn, everybody's saying the same thing.
Yeah,
4-man. You got to play a 4-man front defense. You got to bring pressure.
And question, these first 3 opponents, that we had,
right?
We like you say, we supposed to be undefeated,
right?
And the thing about it is, I don't get this. And I'm maybe just talking out the side of my neck. Could it be he just ain't showed that yet and want to wait till SEC play? It would make sense with offense, but to me, I just feel like defensively, I don't know. Maybe he's looking at the fact that okay, we got to play Oklahoma, so we may have to go with a 3-man front to protect the ball or something like that. Sure. But I'm just saying, if you got coming up games, okay, let's try this 3-man front out to see what it does, and then we're gonna go to our bread and butter, which is the 4-man. Yeah. But I don't know. It would make sense to hide things in offense, you know what I'm saying? Well, but I feel like defensively, you just need to dominate.
Surely, I mean, I would say this against New Mexico. He with the 3-man front defense, he didn't shut them down, but we did hold them to 19 points, and they scored 39 when they played against Arizona when Arizona was ranked in the top 20. I will give them that, But still, I would say this: he probably knew that he didn't have to do a whole lot to beat this team. But to me, it's sort of like I would never. To me, my mindset is as a defensive coordinator, our job is to dominate, and you can't dominate with what he's doing in that game. I don't care who your opponent is.
Yeah.
You're only as good as what you show. To me,
Right.
and so if you're holding something back, why hold something back when you can get experience doing what you do best in a previous game instead of waiting until you actually play somebody? Then if you haven't, let's just say the 4-man front, you need to make some adjustments on that 4-man front. You get in this game and you're going to have to make them adjustments on the fly because you have no experience doing that now, except for just 2 quarters of the year, of the whole season. To me, I don't know. It's just, to me, that was a bad, to me, overall, I like Durkin. Don't get me wrong. That was a bad game plan. Even though we won and we did what we had to do, we gave up too many yards, too many busted coverages for one. You got, I mean, it's common sense. You're taking 2 of your best pass rushers, ask them to drop back in coverage to guard receivers and tight ends. That's not a good philosophy. Let the safeties and cornerbacks deal with all that.
Right.
Bring pressure, man.
Right.
So I'm hopeful and prayerful that 4-man front against them. I'm not too concerned about our offense against Arkansas's defense. I know I love Travis Williams. He's a defense coordinator, former Auburn player. But they're not great defense. I'm telling you, the teams are so similar.
Yeah.
It's basically, I've heard all the talking heads all week, and it's pretty much true. Whoever don't turn the ball over is going to win the game. And I like the fact that Brown, so far in his short career, he's not turnover prone. So with that being said, if he's not turnover prone, if he just does the basic fundamentals again this week, I think we'll be fine. I'm more concerned about our defense this game instead of the offense. I think we'll score some points.
Well, okay, before we pick this game,
right?
Before we give our predictions or whatever, man, we got this lovely sign behind us, and I wish I could have got me one, but anyway,
I got another one. So,
but it's no, you got it for something else. But anyway, next year, if you run across one, let me get one. But anyway, I want to revisit.
Okay.
You had us going 9-3. I had us going 8-4. Okay, even both Starkey from Average Joe's Sports Talk had us at 8-4, and he alluded to something.
Right.
If I remind y'all what he said that we were gonna lose a game that we shouldn't lose, and we were gonna win a game that we shouldn't win. So with that being said, I'm finna revisit this schedule just for a minute.
Okay.
I mean, with the exception of Arkansas,
right?
We'll because we're gonna pick that game in a minute. Y'all hold on. But out of these 8 teams that we have left, well, we like I said, we subtracting Arkansas, so we really got 9 games left. But we got 8 teams left.
Right.
And I want you to say, out of these 8 teams, what would the record be for those 8 teams? If it's 4-4, 5-3, 2-6, what you got for the last 8 games, with the exception of Arkansas? Okay. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Well, it's pretty simple. Oklahoma at home, Auburn beats them.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Okay.
Let's do it this way. I'm gonna go win, loss, loss, win, loss. 5-3.
Whew, boy.
That's me being somewhat confident in what we're doing at quarterback now. But that could change.
Okay.
But there's one game on there that nobody, as of today, is giving us a chance at. But it all depends on what happens these next 2 weeks. But I got my eye on that Missouri game. I've watched Missouri.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah.
I think Auburn can beat them. In my opinion. I've seen Missouri. Don't get me wrong. They're good. But they're not unbeatable, though.
Okay.
So, with that being said.
So, I'm gonna give you mine then. Okay. If you finish.
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah. My 9-3, though, is dead. That's not happening.
Okay. Well, yeah, it'll be 8-4. Considering what you just said,
and that could change after this week.
Whew. So here's mine.
Okay.
Oklahoma at home.
Right.
I got loss.
Okay.
Loss.
Okay.
Loss.
Okay.
Then I got win, win, win. And I believe we can win this one before Alabama.
Be tough. I like our chance to go at home.
And loss. So
4-4.
I got us going 4-4 the rest of the season.
So
and as of right now, that'll put us in a bowl game with the exception of the Arkansas game.
Right.
So that's just me right now. I'm not convinced yet, and I mean that's just me as a real Auburn fan.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. If this offense comes out and does what it did last week, then that's more convincing. To me now, it's up to the defense to show me something more of what they, I don't know, man.
I think he needs to start playing with some of these younger guys too. I mean, it was a top 10 recruiting class, top 8 recruiting class, defensive heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Play them.
Yep.
I mean, play them. I mean, bottom line, you're talking about 2 5-star pass rushers, several 4-star cornerbacks, several 4-star linebackers. Play them. I mean, you're not going to get better on the sideline. The only way you're going to get experience and get better, you got to get in the game. You can't. You're never going to get better in practice like you would in the game.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, I know you got them going 4-4 in the last 8 games. So, with that being said, how do you feel about this game?
I'm gonna let you pick them first.
Man, I'm gonna stick to my gut feel. I mean, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I think our defense shows a little better effort this week from top to bottom. They won't have to, and I think it'll come down to I think Auburn are actually leading this game, and Arkansas will score late to make the game closer than what it is. But I got Auburn. I'm gonna say 31-28. I think our defense will make some adjustments. I think you'll see that 4-man front, and I think a lot of it depends on if Cam Coleman plays, which I think he'll try to give it a go. I think with Brown at quarterback, just being efficient, and I think you can throw on Arkansas. I think they're better. Both teams are better against the run than pass, and so I just think home field means something in this day and time. But if they lose this game, it's not going to be good. I'm just going to tell you. So I'm hopeful and grateful. I don't feel great about it. I feel about 60% confidence, but I got 31-28. Not to really sit there and debate it, but 31-28.
Okay. Well, man, I ain't gonna lie to you.
Okay.
Even after last week, I still had mixed feelings about this game coming up, and I had Auburn losing this game.
Right.
I had done checked the box and said that Auburn would lose this game.
Okay.
And it was going to be big. But I got to thinking about it, and I started, pondering a little bit.
Right.
And you alluded to something that has significantly changed my mind or significantly swayed me in a direction. But, I was leaning there, but I just had to be nudged a little bit. Right. So you said that you feel like the defense will come out and show a better showing.
Yeah.
And you feel like the offense will remain consistent. I'm sorry.
Right.
With what they've been doing. And I agree on that end. I do believe that we will be able to score on Arkansas through the passing game.
Yeah.
And even later on in the rushing game, after so point.
Right.
So while I believe this is going to be a high scoring game.
Okay.
And my score is pretty high. I got a 38-36 Auburn. They will not cover.
Right.
If it's still 3.5, they will not cover, but they will squeak by.
Yeah.
And beat Arkansas at home, which that will leave me with 7-5 record for the season.
Yeah.
Rightfully so if you look at the schedule, because just to point out, there's some teams out there that are not as good as we thought they were at the beginning of the season.
Right.
And there's some teams out there that are better than we thought they were.
Yeah.
You know, so,
Right.
and Auburn being one of them, you know, far as not as good as we thought they were going to be. Well, it's still, you know, we've only played 3 games. We 2-1. And so hopefully, I'm hoping, even though I said that we were going to lose the Oklahoma game, I'm hoping we come out of that 5-game home stretch or 5 home game stretch, whatever you call it, 4-1.
Well, the reason why I think we're going to beat Oklahoma, which I'm not that impressed with Oklahoma. They got a good, solid team. Their quarterback is streaky.
Yeah.
And but with that being said, they're gonna get their feelings hurt Saturday night against Tennessee.
For
one, that's my opinion. I don't think that game's gonna be close. I could be wrong, but I just don't think that game's gonna be close. So they're gonna be coming in. They're gonna have their feelings hurt.
So you don't think Venables is gonna have his defense? The thing about
I don't think it really matters.
That team is so difficult, man, to stop.
Tennessee and Ole Miss have the 2 best offenses in the SEC.
Yeah.
It's not even debate.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. I'm glad we don't play them, either one of them.
Right.
I mean, it'll be ugly for us.
Yeah.
Trying to keep up with them.
It sure would.
But with that being said, I'm not a Tennessee fan by any means. I got several friends that are, and this is the best Tennessee team I've seen in a while because we all know under Heupel they can move the ball and score points.
Yeah,
they've gotten better defensively.
They got better defensively.
Rodney Gardner's doing his thing on the defensive line.
So
I'm thinking Auburn beats Arkansas. They'll keep getting a little more confidence with Brown. You got Oklahoma coming to our place next Saturday, and they're gonna be coming off a loss. I really think it's gonna be ugly for them against Tennessee. It could end up being a close game. I just don't see it because I'm not sold on their quarterback. I mean, I know he's highly ranked and all that. And it's like when he played in the bowl game last year, he's a little turnover prone too. He's a gunslinger. Don't get me wrong. But I like the fact that I want to see Hank Brown continue to make that aggression because each week moving forward from this point on, the defensive teams we're playing from a defensive standpoint, the challenge is going to get harder and harder. Arkansas's defense is bad. Oklahoma's defense is good, but everybody knows what Georgia's got coming up on defense. I mean, each week is going to get more challenging. So we got to really these next 2 weeks, we're going to find out all we need to know. I would hate to know that, under Freeze's second year with a more talented team than he had last year, that we're not going to make a bowl game. But if we lose this game to Arkansas, we won't, in my opinion. It'd be hard to. So, I mean, with all this goodwill at recruiting and all that, with all these, momentum we got recruiting, all that could be gone just like that.
Boy,
because you can only sell your vision for so long. Because that's what he's doing now.
Bro,
he's not recruiting on results on the field. He's recruiting on hope. Yeah. And hope can only take you so far without results. You got to have some results. So
that's true.
That's where I'm at with it. But yeah, 31-28. Let's see. I'm hoping for more than that, but that's just
that's a solid score, man. Because Arkansas is going to score on this.
Oh yeah. So prayerfully, man, we'll be back next week. If we're not, what's going to happen?
Yeah. So we'll be back because we need to talk about that Oklahoma game coming up. But and I throw out, man, I think we won 7 of the last 8 meetings against Arkansas. So that's a little promising. You know
we own Arkansas. There ain't no debate about that.
So man, they really made us look like fools when we predicted the California game. But hopefully we come back with with a victory. Yeah. And listen, man, as always, we appreciate y'all tuning in and checking us out. Please like, share, comment, hit the notification button. Auburn all the time. You got something else, brother? I know you clapped your hands. I know you had something.
I was just saying, no matter how hard it gets, you got to stay the course.
Yeah.
If you're patient, which we live in a microwave society, everybody wants instant results. But I will say this about Freeze. I like Freeze. I think he's made some mistakes, and I see some things he's doing well. But I would say this: I feel like he's doing it the right way. He's doing it through high school recruiting, and whenever you're doing it that way, compared to the transfer portal, which we've got guys from transfer portal, but we've had our more success through high school ranks. So with that
He
being
want to
said,
get on camera. That's all it is.
so just be patient, even though it's hard to do.
Yeah.
But I truly believe if the fan base, alumni, is patient with Freeze, better days are ahead.
Yeah.
No matter how hard it gets.
Yeah.
Just got to stay the course.
Yeah.
And that's it, man. Just War Eagle. Let's pull one out.
Well, we'll sign out. Like I said, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. And we'll sign out with a War Eagle.
Man, I could have talked for about an hour just on just. You only watch all the